Buongiorno a tutti, mi chiamo Charlotte e oggi sto davanti ad un posto molto vecchio che si chiama in inglese Tinton Abbey, ma siamo infatti in Galles e non so come si chiama in gallese, ma in italiano direi l'abbazia di Tinton. Tintin non è la stessa cosa che Tintin, il personaggio famoso, ma si chiama Tintin, ok? Ve la mostro adesso perché è qua, ok? È un tipo di monastero, monastery o abbazia, an abbey in inglese. Probabilmente sentite questo rumore, ma che cos'è? È il russare della mia bambina che dorme dietro di me, ok? Mi dispiace, ma è così. In questo momento è un po' difficile e faccio quello che posso, ok? Ok, andiamo. In this month, febbraio 2024, eccomi, parliamo di un segno zodiacale che mi piace molto, il leone. Non è il mio segno, ma è il segno della mia bambina, non lei, ma l'altra, della mia figlia più grande. Ok, il leone in inglese vuol dire Leo. Leo si chiama così Leo quando parliamo del segno dello zodiaco. Dello zodiaco, sì. In inglese zodiac sign. Leo, ma quando parliamo in inglese dell'animale diciamo lion, che non è la stessa parola. Dunque per il segno diciamo Leo, ma in italiano si dice leone, ok? Come l'animale. Ok, dunque ho trovato un articolo su internet che ho trovato su www.lovefm.it, che lo scrivo qua, e come si chiama questo articolo? Si chiama il 2024 sarà un anno fantastico per questi segni zodiacali più fortunati. Dunque, ce ne sono 4 o 5 i segni più fortunati di quest'anno. That means the luckiest or the most fortunate signs this year. Tra di loro ho trovato Leone e Acquario, ma non credo di avere abbastanza tempo di parlare dell'Acquario, dunque concentriamo sul Leone, ok? Ok. Allora ho trovato questo qui, questa descrizione e la leggo adesso. Tra i segni zodiacali più fortunati del 2024 c'è sicuramente il leone, che vivrà un'esplosione di successo e prosperità, grazie al sostegno favorevole delle stelle. Il loro carisma e la loro determinazione saranno le chiavi per aprire porte che conducono a nuove vette professionali. ok? Vedete che è abbastanza lungo. Ok, e qui l'ho scritto e vediamo insieme il linguaggio che c'è, ok? Okay, everyone. So on the handout that I've just read the first part, which is talking about Leo. We're going to look at the text that I've just read, and it's taken from lovefm.it. And the name of the article in particular is, or in English, it will be a fantastic year for these most fortunate or most luckiest zodiac signs in 2024. And I was hoping to go through these two signs, just chosen at random, Leo and Aquarius. But instead, I've just decided to do Leo, because that's probably as much time as we have to do that. And I've written out that little description on this board. If you're a member of my Italian club, you'll have this handout sent as a PDF, along with the link to the original site where I've found these lovely little descriptions, these kind of horoscopes. We've got some activities, and then there'll be a link to this tutorial, as well as a link to some further content online that you can peruse, okay, which is linked to fate and good luck, okay. So you'll get that later. As per usual, I tend to put the verbs in red so that you can instantly see which they are, whether they're in any tense, whether they're conjugated or in their infinitive forms or whatever. But I've also underlined the adjectives here, because you get a lot of adjectives in this kind of text. You know, it's describing things. So let's have a little look. I might have to move this around a little bit. Hopefully we'll make my door trap. Ok. Tra I segni zodiacali, so among the zodiac signs, tra means among, I segni, I is the article, which means the, and you see that in front of a plural masculine noun that starts with a consonant, I segni, and then zodiacali, here underlined in green. Scusatemi perché non mi sono truccata neanche. I've not even worn makeup today, so you can see my blemishes. Sorry about that, but è così. Non mi importa troppo, ma preferirei di truccarmi. Sì. Sì. Preferirei. I would prefer. Truccarmi is to put makeup on. Anyway, tra I segni zodiacali più, can you see that? Più fortunati. So we've got fortunati is the plural, just like zodiacali, it ends with an I. Zodiacale would be the singular, the singular, it ends with an E. And when an adjective like zodiacale ends with an E in the singular, it's the same adjective, same written and spoken form, whether it describes a masculine, zodiac, ale, in the singular, così, zodiacale. In the plural, whether it's agreeing with something masculine or something feminine that's plural, then the ending changes to an I, okay? Even if we're talking about something that isn't masculine plural. So that's a bit unusual, but that happens sometimes with think of like the adjective gentile, triste, okay, they end with an E. So if you're describing like something that's plural, triste changes to tristi, and gentile changes to gentili, even if you're talking about, say, le donne, gentili, tristi, okay? There's going to be a few interesting noises. She didn't wake up. Okay. Among the most fortunate I più is the most, and then fortunati is the adjective fortunate, which is like a cognate, of course, of the English word fortunate. So it's just the last letter that changes. But the I agrees with I segni. So the most among the zodiac signs, the most fortunate del 2024. Del means of. Il 2024 would be the year, l'anno, the year, but del here is di plus il, so that becomes a del. Instead of saying di il 20, il 2024, diciamo invece, they say instead del. We see that elsewhere with combined prepositions, okay, or articulated prepositions. So, of the year 2020, c'è, there's a little c'è at the end of that. Can you see that? Aspetta, dove? Eccolo qua, c'è. I think I'm going to have to change this around. So, c'è means is, or there is. Can you see that? Tra I segni zodiacali più fortunati del 2024, c'è, there is, and then sicuramente, surely, or certainly, sicuro would mean sure or certain. So sicuramente, if you change sicuro, which is the masculine form, the adjective sure or certain, like sono sicuro, sono sicura, take it to the feminine form with an A, sicura, then add mente, that's how you form the adverb, sicuramente, okay? So you can form an adverb like that in Italian. So instead of saying sure or certain, you're saying surely, certainly. So, tra I segni zodiacali più fortunati dell'anno, del 2024, c'è sicuramente il leone. There's certainly or surely Leo. Okay? In English we'd say Leo. We wouldn't say the Leo. No, we wouldn't say the Leo generally. So, che vivrà, so that's a future tense. Che, little conjunction word. Vivrà is from the verb vivere, which means to live or to be alive or to experience, to go through, if you like. So it's not necessarily the same as living, like inhabiting something, like inhabiting a house, for example. Or, you know, it's more to do with being alive. You could use vivere if you're talking about where you actually inhabit, but there's a more broad sense to it, whereas abitare is talking about where you reside. I was just sort of thinking back to a discussion I had in a French video. It must have been my last French video, where vivre is the same thing, and then there's habiter, to inhabit. So I'm just kind of like thinking, have I got those mixed up there? But no, I think it's essentially the same. Yeah, well, I can't check now. I can't go online and double check. But I'll have to check after the video. See, that's the kind of thing. When you do something in one take, you can't just stop and start. And I just don't have the time to edit these videos at the moment. But one day, un giorno. Okay. Among the zodiac signs that are the most fortunate, or the luckiest of the zodiac signs in 2024, or of 2024, c'è sicuramente il leone, is definitely Leo, which will live, or who will live, I suppose in English we'd say, because we're talking about a person. But here it's che referring to il leone. Vivrà is vivere, to live or go through, un'esplosione. Now, I wrote this down. Lucky I read it because I wrote espulsione, which is almost espulsione, which is an expulsion of something. But I meant to write un'esplosione, an explosion. So that's a feminine noun there. Esplosione. C'è il vento. E piove anche. So it's raining. And it's a bit windy. Un po' ventoso. Okay, un'esplosione. That's a good example of a noun that's feminine, but ends with an E. Okay. Sorry to lick that. As needs must. Anyway, esplosione. Un'esplosione. So we've got un at the beginning, because if you said una esplosione, well, you don't need to. You just truncate it. Or you abbreviate it, I suppose. Un'esplosione. Esplosione. Ione. So that's a feminine noun, even though it starts with un. Right? If you hear un'esplosione, you might think, oh, it's a masculine noun because it's got un in front of it. But actually, it would be una, but you take off the a and add an apostrophe, un apostrofo, because it starts with, comincia con e, un vocale. It starts with a vowel. Esplosione. So that ends with an e. So if there were two explosions, we'd have due. Any idea? Esplosioni. Esplosioni. Because this is a noun. Before we saw the, what was it? Zodiacale. Zodiacale. So that describes the sign, zodiac sign of the zodiac. So zodiacale is an adjective, a describing word that ends with an E. But here we have a feminine noun that ends with an E. But in the same way as that adjective, zodiacale, that ends with an E, in the plural, ends with an E in the singular, but in the plural up there, see it there, it ends with an I. And the same thing happens here. In the plural, this noun, this feminine noun, esplosione, ends with an E in the singular, with an I in the plural. But it would still be, for example, le esplosione. Scusa. Esplosioni. Le esplosioni. So the article, the word the, stays the same, feminine plural. But oddly, the ending of that noun is an I. That happens sometimes. It's just like an irregular ending. But not that uncommon. So just be aware of it, okay? Okay, where are we? Oh yes, un'esplosione. So il leone is among one of the most fortunate signs of the zodiac this year, secondo lovefm.it, fm.it, che vivrà un'esplosione di successo. Oh, sì, bello, no? Un'esplosione di successo. An explosion, a burst of success. Successo. So, successo qua. That's the noun, success. An explosion or a burst of success. That's obviously a good thing. Successo is also, strangely, the past participle of succedere. Succedere. Che cosa è successo? Cosa è successo? Cosa è successo? If you see or hear someone say cos'è successo, che cosa è successo? You might hear that. Or you might hear cosa è successo. Or you probably will hear cosa è successo. What's happened? Okay? Then that's what that means. But that is the past participle of succedere. I'm just looking at it because, sometimes you don't write things for a while and you think, is that how it's written? Succedere. Okay, successo. But also, il successo is success. A bit like the English word. I think my brain's a bit mangled today. Non importa. I'm still here. So, according to the to this thing, secondo questo sito web qua, il leone vivrà un'esplosione di successo e success, and there's more. Prosperità. There's that little accent, a little grave accent over the A, so you put some emphasis on that. Prosperità, not prosperita, prosperità. Okay, so you put the emphasis on that. Prosperity, lovely. Talking about wealth there. Okay, so let's have a look at the next line. Grazie al. So grazie a means thanks to. There we are. Grazie, like the word thanks. Thanks to the. Al is when you have the preposition a, which means to or at, plus il. A plus il equals al. She's really having a good old sleep there. I've been hoping she'll sleep all morning. It's quite late that she sleeps, but she is. Grazie, bambina. Okay. Grazie al sostegno. So thanks to the sostegno is the support. It's got that G and an N. Sostegno. Rhymes with legno, which is wood. Sostegno. Il sostegno del legno. The support of the wood, the wooden support. Sostegno. Favorevole. Ooh, we've got an adjective here. It's a nice one too. Favorevole. Favorable. That's positive, isn't it? Favorable. Favorevole. Again, it ends with an E. Favorevole. Can you see that down there? So that could be describing anything. So, thanks to the favorable support. We have a combined preposition here, right? Delle, let me just get my finger in the right place. Delle stelle. Very typical thing about zodiac signs, the old zodiac. What are they called? Horoscopes? Che mi piacciono molto. Non tutti, ma non sono uguali. Non sono tutti uguali, direi. In that kind of horoscope text, one of my, in fact, my first proper translation job was translating horoscopes. It was right up my street. Do you remember that? Yeah, I've probably spoken about that before. Anyway, that was a very, very nice job. Because of the nature of the horoscopes, talking about things that are happening in, celestial bodies, if you like, we have lots of talk of stars, planets, moon, sun, and the way that they move, and like where they are in position to each other, and how that affects what's going on down here, right? So on the Earth, obviously. So we have mention of things like le stelle. Stelle is stars. So delle stelle. Grazie al sostegno favorevole delle stelle, thanks to the favorable support of the, hang on a minute, let me find out where it is, delle stelle, il loro carisma, il loro, what is that? Well, that is the possessive adjective. Yes, I think it's the adjective. So it basically means their, as in the something that belongs to them. So I'll put il loro here, because just after we have la loro, which is a lovely kind of juxtaposition of the feminine and the masculine of this. Okay, so thanks to, il loro carisma. Confusingly, we have a word here that looks like it should be feminine, that's actually masculine. Okay, a bit like il problema. Okay, that's another one that ends with an A. Il loro carisma, their charisma. So the singular thing, il carisma, di loro, of them, who are plural, could be them girls, them guys, those girls, those guys, them, basically. La loro determinazione. Didn't quite manage to fit this on that flip chart there, so just as well, I'm going to write that here. Il loro carisma. Il agrees with charisma, even though it ends with an A. Okay, it's just a fluke, a bit of a fluke. La loro determinazione. So words that end with azione tend to be feminine, okay? So la determinazione di loro, okay? So let's have a look at this sentence again. Grazie al sostegno favorevole delle stelle, so thanks to the favorable support of the stars, il loro carisma, their charisma, la loro determinazione, saranno, that means those things that I've just mentioned, they will be le chiavi. Oh, this is full of like irregular endings. I'll have to mention that in my description for the video. Le chiavi, le, so that tells you that the word that follows is feminine and plural, but look, it ends with an I. So that means in the singular it would be la chiave, okay? A little bit of kind of back engineering or reverse engineering there. La chiave means the key, so le chiavi means keys, the keys. All right? Keys, the keys for what? Per aprire, the keys for opening. In English we'd say the keys to open or keys to opening, but here we've got per aprire, to open or for opening, porte, doors. Normally that would be le porte, but porte, che conducono, just have a look, a nuove, that lead to, or bring you to, guide you to. A means to, nuove is new, nuove vette professionali. Do you know, this is quite by kind of coincidence, I suppose. I hadn't realised that this was so full of irregular endings, but that's great. Sta ancora addormentata. Devo finire velocemente, okay? So it's quite interesting actually. Sometimes things just fall into place. So this here is full of irregular endings. Le chiavi, segni zodiacali. Oh, that's actually not, that's completely regular. Sostegno favorevole. Nuove vette professionali. So new something, professional something or others. Let me take that one again. Try and not get the paper in there. So new summits, maybe? Heights. So that's to do with like the peak of something, the height of like a mountain or something. There must be other words for that. Professionali. So in the singular, that adjective professional, professionale, would end with an E. And even though it agrees with le vette, which is feminine, the ending ends with an I because it already had an E on it in the singular. So in the plural, it has to agree with the plural, vette, but it goes to an I, okay, to show you that it's in the plural. Nuove is an adjective, it's quite a common adjective. You get certain adjectives like bello, piccolo, grande, nuovo, that because of they're such common adjectives, sometimes they will precede the noun. So here we've got nuove vette, new summits, or new heights, if you like, if you want to keep that kind of sense of altitude, if you like, or progress upwards. Also, we've got two adjectives here. New, what would we say? New professional summits, new professional heights. In English, we just put one adjective after the other, and there's sort of an order to them, which becomes kind of instinctive as you speak more and more English. But here we've got nuove, vette, and then professionali, professionali comes afterwards. So nuove goes before vette, and then professionali goes afterwards. If I put le nuove vette professionali, it would show you that this is a plural feminine noun. She's almost awake. Okay, so let's see if I can do a little read through that then. Leone. Tra i segni zodiacali più fortunati del 2024 c'è sicuramente il leone, che vivrà un'esplosione di successo e prosperità. Grazie al sostegno favorevole delle stelle, il loro carisma e la loro determinazione saranno le chiavi per aprire porte che conducono a nuove vette professionali. Let's just translate that last bit because I don't think I made that very clear what it means. So thanks to the favourable support of the stars, their charisma and determination, now that's referring to the charisma and determination of anyone under the sign of Leo, their charisma and determination will be the keys to opening doors that lead to new professional summits or heights. Okay, so that's obviously for people who are in a professional, like who are old enough to have a profession. Okay, yes, so that's quite useful. Okay, come si dice? Come si dice? Favorable. Favorevole. Ok. Come si dice to live or to experience? Vivere. Ok. Vivere. I can't remember the name of that singer, but there's oh no, I really like him too, a blind guy. He's got a beautiful voice. Andrea Bocelli. I'm sure he sings a song called Vivere. Okay, check it out if you want to listen to some Italian opera sort of stuff. Vivere means to live or to experience or to like to be alive. Okay, let's end with a kind of adjective, but also